Lion dance on pole was first introduced in 1983 when we organized Malaysia's first lion dance on pole competition. That was the birth of this new style of performance. In the early days, all the performances were on the ground with many skilled choreography and ground strategy. It gradually evolved to performance on tables, chairs, and pots. During this evolution of ground performance, we came up with the idea to further improve the performances by expanding to performing on poles. The initial idea of dancing on poles seemed easy as we thought of it as many individual poles which were made of wood. However, when it came to fabricating them, it's not as simple as it seemed. We had to take into consideration the position, the distance, the weight, the height, and the base. We then invented our first generation high poles, consisting of 5 wooden poles, which we named the Mei Hua poles, which meant plum blossom poles. It was 33 inches in height, and after performing on it a few times, we found that with just 5 poles, it wasn't challenging enough. We gradually added more poles somewhere in the mid-1980s. In the history of lion dance, we were not very sure if it had been performed on high poles before. Everyone was informed that the story flow of the lion dance on pole performances is about the lion dancing on the seaside of a fishing village, where villagers hung a ching on a pole. The lion then tries to get the ching. However, the actual inspiration to perform on poles is the influence from kung fu novels and movies. We had to use our own creativity to fabricate the poles by coming up with new creations. Previously, the bases of the wooden poles were made from wooden fixtures, but we found it dangerous during performances. So we changed the base to iron fittings, which turned out to be safer. The wooden pole is 8 inches in width, but 8 inches is difficult to stand on. So we added extra rubber pieces to make it wider and safer for the performers. Wooden poles have evolved to the iron poles as you see today, and the standard height is below 3 meters.
In 1983, Master Xiao adapted a new practice where the lion dancers perform on poles. Many thought it was preposterous and were not supportive of it. This was not an easy task, but things took off for Master Xiao and his pride of innovative youngsters. Perseverance was the key. Today, the lion dancers artistically incorporate and bring out the characteristics of the lion in the action and movements, while dancing and jumping on stilts and poles.
When we first started performing on poles, we felt pressured. After we got used to the pole, we thought of some new dance moves which required a lot of hard work and practice to make it possible. For example, when we came up with the idea of having 2 guys performing on one pole, many people said that it was impossible. But we did it, and today, many people followed us.
The lion dance on poles takes its achievement in stride. On the 7th of July 2007, Culture, Arts and Heritage Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Rais Yatim conferred the lion dance on poles as a national heritage, as it originated from Malaysia and was a pride of the nation.
Malaysian government has finally acknowledged our Chinese lion dance on pole as a national heritage, a symbol of appreciation for those who are in the industry. For us who have struggled to promote this sport, Our hard work has finally been rewarded. Our dedication and persistence has finally paid off.
This new innovation of lion dancing calls for perfect coordination, elegance and nerves of steel. These days, the tradition of lion dancing has transformed into an extreme sport and is evolving into an international tournament-level competition, with dancers out-jumping one another and doing synchronized stunts on stilts. Recently, the dance has become a form of international sport, where dancers from all over the world compete to determine the world's best. Lion dancers have taken tradition to new heights. It used to be enough for Chinese performers to usher in the new year with a beat of drums, clash of cymbals, pop of fireworks and a parade of lion dancers. Now audiences are expecting more, since the lifelike blink of the lion's eye no longer wows a crowd. The lions are one of the very few sociable cats. They sneak up on their prey before starting the attack, which is usually short and powerful. Lions like the color green, but react strangely to red. Lions have conspicuous manes. Their eyes will follow your path, stalk your steps as they get closer to your tracks. They spend much of their time resting. Lions seem to enjoy fellowship by touching, head rubbing, licking and purring. These characteristics are all shown in the grace and poise of lion dancing. In lion dance competitions, it is difficult to gain points as it requires meticulous calculations according to the rules and regulations.
The tray I am holding now is the marking tray for judges to display their verdict. On the tray, you can see 4 colored cards, and these 4 colors are divided into red, which is for big fall, black is for medium fall, yellow is for small fall, and green is for mistakes. This tray is to be transparent for audience to know how the points are calculated. For all teams who perform, if any mistakes are made, the judges will display the colored cards as according to the standard judging system. Every competition will have 7 judges. For example, if 3 judges display the red and 3 judges display the black cards, then the chief judge will organize to vote whether the judgment will in the end be black or red to get very fair judgment and agreement from the main panel of judges so that the verdict is fair.
The lion's head, as well as the tail, require the performers to possess excellent physical conditioning and stamina. The lion dance offers vigorous cardiovascular exercise, as well as stance and weight training, all rolled up in one beautiful cultural tradition that will impress and awe the audience. But they know nothing of life behind the scenes. Injuries have become part of the risk of such an extreme sport. To master oneself is the greatest achievement. The competitive spirit is only part of a greater philosophy. Sports injuries do not deter the performers to train and compete in the highest level. The Confederation of Sa Ping Lion Dance has deep and far-reaching influence internationally. Its generations and disciples are found in many parts of Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, Hong Kong, China, Macau, and even the USA and Canada. Good sports management and administration helps to deliver better sports participation, improve the practice, and to gather objective data on the performance of athletes. All criteria of internal and external competitions are abided at all levels. Much appreciation goes to the national sports bodies for promoting sports participation.
Now, we are in Tangkak, Johor. This tourism competition is organised by the Seri Ledang Tangkak Johor Sports and Social Club and the Federation of Selangor and Federal Territory Dragon and Lion Dance Association. And we broke the Malaysian record with participation of 100 lion dance associations. 70 associations will compete in the traditional performance, while the other 30 associations will compete in the dance on pole.
Lion dancing in Malaysia has become so popular that there are now more than 2,000 lion dance troupes here that work closely as one to promote lion dancing not just in Malaysia but around the world.
Originally, we were organizing for a competition on just traditional lion dance. But later, many lion dance groups and associations requested that since we are organizing for a traditional one, why don't we also organize the on-poles competition as well? After serious discussions, planning and consideration, we then decided to have a mix of traditional and on-poles lion dance competition. The reason being, as we see nowadays, many lion dance groups are very serious in the sport. They are laboriously training the upcoming new generations, which made us decide that it is our responsibility to support them and to organize this mixed competition.
We initially estimated that about 50 lion dance associations will participate, and we would have been happy. However, when this competition was covered in the newspapers, many lion dance associations were interested to participate.
More than 100 teams signed up, but as some lion dance associations didn't submit their forms, we decided to cut off to the 100 who have submitted relevant papers.
Lion dance competitions have also gained widespread popularity and media coverage.
Well, I actually came with a group of Australian journalists, and that was on a media exchange program. It was to foster relations between Australia and Malaysia. And so I had to do a story when I was here. And so I chose to do one about the upcoming World Championships, World Lion Dance Championships here in Malaysia, because it is something very unique and something that you cannot find in Australia.
Yang sekarang ini bukan sahaja diamalkan oleh masyarakat Cina, tetapi juga mula menjadi perhatian dan juga diikuti oleh masyarakat Melayu dan India.
Masa saya kecil-kecil, saya banyak suka.
When I was young, I liked to watch lion dance performance, which was always performed by the Chinese. In my heart, I was thinking, why couldn't an Indian perform this lion dance as well? As I was interested in lion dance, I went to ask my sifu if I could join his association. During the learning stages, I gained a lot of knowledge and made many new friends. Many people told me that they are happy to see me as an Indian performing the lion dance.
What is going on? Oh my God! Never in my life, my student, normally they will come and wish me, celebrate, cutting cakes, but not this one. This one is really a big surprise to me, actually.
Yeah, actually, my intention
nak buat this lion group dance in my school about 2-3 years ago. But at the time, I still tak dapat students yang really interested. They just want, okay, the teachers we want only Chinese, or kalau I ask Malay boys, they just want Indian group. I don't want that, like that. I want them get together. It doesn't matter what colour you are or what is your agama. Okay, if they can mix, okay, I say, okay, I'm ready. Kita buat kumpulan. So, I follow the procedure, tanya pihak sekolah whether I boleh buat this one. I uruskan dengan pihak luar macam mana nak buat this lion dance. Well, you know, kalau nak perform lion dance, we need all the drums, gong. Also, that was all money. And well, you know, school, I know that school can't afford at the moment. So I think I need some other sources lah. So thanks a lot Kuan Lok Lion and Dance Association. Sanggup tolong. Train the boys. Not only train the boys. You see lah, they're wearing their pants also. And then bagi pinjam lions, bagi pinjam all the instruments. I'm very grateful to Mr. Albert Fong. Apa yang saya nampak, this activity lah, to me is a culture sport, okay? Actually, apa yang saya faham, this tarian singa or tarian naga whatsoever, nothing to do dengan agama. It's just a part of kebudayaan. It depends lah macam mana you tengok. Maybe orang Melayu dulu ingat, this one ada kena-mengena dengan agama sebab diorang practice dekat temple. In fact, ada sekali masa saya nak tengok this lion Kuan Lok punya group dance practice. Saya pergi temple. So saya tanya the sifu, boleh tak saya masuk nak tengok? Ya, dia kata welcome. So saya tanya, kalau my students nak take part macam mana? Dia kata boleh, tak ada masalah. Saya kata you practice kat temple. Nanti students, parents takut nak bagi anak datang. So they explain. Actually he said this is sports culture. I think it's good lah because you nak mind this lion dance, you need you mesti fit, right? And then you tengoklah dia orang really sweat. I think it's very healthy. So dari segi aspek tu bergantunglah macam mana pandangan seseorang. But to me, no, and I encourage. To me, there's nothing to do dengan kepercayaan agama. It's more to kebudayaan or culture sesatu bangsa. And we felt we are Malaysia, kita kena respect each other, right? Wah. Very happy. This is my first time lion masuk rumah I.
The lion dance used to be a traditional Chinese performance, but now it is evolving into a much-loved performance of the other races like Indians and Malays, as well as Westerners.